you write this out for the first week. Write out your power mantra right before you go to sleep. Write it out. There is power, absolute power in the pen, pencil, whatever it is. But there's something that goes on between the mind and your ability to write, to scribe, to spell. And they said that's where casting a spell came from. You're spelling. So within me is a joyful wisdom that guides my personal spiritual growth with adventure and authenticity, allowing me to contribute to all. I write that out 12 times before I fall asleep. That's what's going in my mind as I'm drifting off. The brain will now take this information on, and it will become part of your subconscious. Not one time. You can't do this one time. This is going to be a practice. It's going to be a process, just like you brush your teeth every morning or every night, whatever it is. It's part of your routine. That's where we go back to that thing over here before. That routine becomes your habit, which becomes your identity, which becomes your personality and your personal reality. So that when something happens to you, you don't have to go, does that align with my desire, or my value of wisdom? Nobody's going to stop and really go through the process. That's why you have to make sure that you're doing this on a regular basis, so that when something in life, and you're encountered by something, on a subconscious level, you're going to be able to say, that's a yes, that's a no. That's a oh yes, and that's maybe I don't think so. And that's where you're going to start making your best decisions from this awareness, conscious awareness of what your core values are. You're planting these seeds. The other time that your brain is most fertile is just as you're waking up. So before you start your day, before you start thinking of all the things you got to do, all the things that has to be done, you reinforce who you are. Who you are, your core. Write them out again. Write them out again. I'd say for the first 6 weeks, you're going to be writing this at least twice a day. Write them out. Within me is, whatever it is, it needs to be in the present tense. So when you make this statement, it needs to be in the present tense. It can be, I will be, I am, it's now. Right now, I am. This is. Within me is. Is this making sense? Because that's what's being reinforced on a regular basis. And this is becoming who you are. And from that place, you're going to be making decisions that align with your core values. And from that, if you align with your core values, you're going to find life is much more fulfilling. It's when we compromise our core values that it's not so fulfilling. And keep in mind, we're always trying to meet those 6 human needs, those first 4. We will compromise these values that we just discovered. We will compromise those to meet those needs. And then we'll feel shitty about it. Yep, we got our need met. Yep, I won the girl. Yep, yay. Now I lied to her. I compromised my value. I don't feel worthy of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not enough just to know your core values. You've now got to live by them. In order to do that, you need to get really clear on how you consciously choose to meet your human needs on a regular basis without compromising your core values. Is this all kind of making sense? It's not too heavy, is it? No. It's doable, right? Yeah. So why haven't we been doing this all the time? I didn't know about it until 15 years ago. So I'm with you there. All you young people, you guys are getting this early on in life. So hopefully you'll be able to use this for the rest of your life and feel a lot more fulfilled about your decisions. Now let's make sure I've covered everything we've got here to do today. And like I said, you will probably tweak this statement, this power mantra, several times. So the first time through is not going to be the only one. So repeat that. Once you get used to, and you've got it memorized, it's just a part of who you are. I say it before I present. I said before I do anything now, it's just kind of part of my thing now. On my way to driving to something, I'm reinforcing who I am. Within me is a joyful wisdom that guides my personal spiritual growth with adventure and authenticity. So if I do anything, I make any decisions that are in alignment with those core values, I'm going to feel quite fulfilled. If I do anything that compromises those, then I'm not going to feel so satisfied. It's going to be great. Does this make sense? Do you think this is going to be useful? Yeah? This is usable? Okay, good. With that, is there any questions about what I've covered so far?